And welcome to Create with Lindy. Today we are, hello. Hello and welcome to Create with Lindy. Today we are going to be making your very own stethoscope that you can use to play dress up later. And this week it is superheroes and community helpers week. So I chose to choose a doctor for my community helper. And that's why we're going to be making the stethoscope, which is an instrument the doctor uses. So first we're going to read a little book about playing doctor and going to the doctor. So this is Daniel Visits the Doctor. This is a Daniel Tiger book. It was a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and Daniel was home playing doctor. So you can see that Daniel has on his own stethoscope and a white coat like a doctor wears in the book. And there he is at home playing doctor. Okay, Tiggy, it's time for Dr. Daniel to give you a checkup. Daniel giggled as he opened his toy doctor kit. Just then, Mom Tiger came into the room. Oh, hello, Doctor. Have you seen my little tiger Daniel? Mom asked. Mom, it's me, Daniel. I'm not really a doctor, Daniel giggled. Mom smiled and ruffles Daniel's fur. Well, Daniel, time to stop playing because we have to get going, Mom said. Where are we going? Daniel asked. So you can see there he is with his doctor kit, and that's his Tiggy that he is playing doctor with. So he's pretending to be Tiggy's doctor, his stuffed animal. Okay, so let's see what Mom says. We are going to see Dr. Anna today, said Mom. It's time for your checkup. But Mom, I'm one stripe scared to go for a checkup, said Daniel. What will happen there? Mom put her arm around Daniel and sang, when we do something new, let's talk about what we'll do. So there Daniel Tiger is with his Tiggy and his mom telling him about what they're going to do at the doctor today. Mom showed Daniel what would happen at the doctor's office and started to draw. The first thing that happens at the doctor is that you wait in the waiting room. Daniel remembered that Dr. Anna's waiting room had a fish tank and books and toys too. So there he is, he's drawing about what he's going to see at the doctor. And so there's some of the things he thinks he'll see, the fish tank and the chairs in the waiting room. Let's see. And a toy, I think that's a toy giraffe. Let's see. The next thing that happens is that Dr. Anna will check your body to make sure that it's healthy and strong. She'll check your heart, thump, 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 and she'll check your ears, tickle, 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 and she'll check your eyes, blink, 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 and she'll check your throat, ah. Well, Mom, will I have to get a shot? Daniel asked Mom. Mom shook her head no, not today. Daniel took Mom's pictures to Dr. Anna's with him. It's like a book, said Daniel, as they headed out the door. It's like a book, said Mom. Let's see if you can find all of the things we drew in our book in Dr. Anna's office. Okay, said Daniel. So there they are. They're leaving their house. They're leaving, and Daniel Tiger is bringing his Tiggy stuffed animal with him to the doctor in all of his drawings to see if he can find everything he drew at the doctor's office. It's time for a checkup. So we're off to the doctor's office. Won't you ride along with me? Sang Daniel and Mom Tiger as the trolley rolled towards Dr. Anna's office. Oh, this is a really cool page. Look at all of the things in their neighborhood. Looks like they've got a lake with a sailboat, and They've got, oh, there's the trolley that they're in. And oh, they even have a castle in their neighborhood. Very cool. And let's see if there's anything else in here. Oh, see if you can spy the doctor's office. Hopefully you can see it. So I think that this is the doctor's office, and the reason I think that is because it has a red cross on it, and a red cross often means that that's somewhere that you can get medical help. And also, they have what we're going to make today in our activity. There's a stethoscope over the doctor's office. So very cool. Wow. Daniel said as he looked around Dr. Anna's office, the waiting room looks just like the picture that we drew. Daniel ran over to the fish tank. Hi, fishies. So there he is with the fishies, and he's saying, blub, blub, blub. He's trying to make what fishy noises are. And now, said Mom, we wait. Wait in the waiting room. So there they are in the waiting room. That's the first thing you do when you go to the doctor. You sit in the waiting room and wait for the doctor. And you can see they have chairs and toys to play with. And there's a lot of times at doctors and in Daniel Tiger's doctor's office, they have fun things on the walls like rainbows. While he was waiting in the waiting room, Daniel made believe that the fish in the fish tank were going to see the doctor too. Oh, that's so funny. Look, the fish is dressed up like a doctor. He's even got a stethoscope on himself or herself. And there's all the other fishies in there. And it looks like they even have a scale so that they can weigh the fishies when they're at the doctor. So that's a fun make-believe game to do. If you have fish at your doctor's office, you can pretend that they're going to the doctor too. Daniel Tiger and Tiggy Tiger called Dr. Anna. It's time for your checkup. Follow me. Mom held Daniel's hand as they followed Dr. Anna. So there he is with Mom. And there's Tiggy Tiger and Dr. Anna. And you can kind of see right there, she's got a stethoscope on as well. There she is. She has it around her neck. Daniel climbed up onto the table and looked around curiously. What was going to happen next? What do you guys think is going to happen next? Looks like he's on the table, and there's that red cross I told you about that often means that it's something medical right there. And let's see what else is there. Looks like they have papers on the wall that shows where the doctor went to school to become a doctor. So you might see that at your doctor's office too. And there's her stethoscope just waiting to be used. And I can't wait to see how they use the stethoscope. Dr. Anna smiled and sang to Daniel, "When we do something new, let's talk about what we do." First, Dr. Anna listened to Tiggy's heartbeat with a stethoscope. Thump, thump, Dr. Anna said with a smile. So there she is. Can you see? She is taking the stethoscope, and this time, instead of around her neck, she has it in her ears so she can hear. And she puts the very bottom circle part, she puts it on his chest so that she can hear his heart. And it sounds like thump, thump, thump. Then Dr. Anna listened to Daniel's heartbeat. Nope, he did it again. Then she listened to Daniel's heartbeat. Thump, thump, your heart is strong and healthy. Daniel, said Dr. Anna. Oh, and there's Daniel Tiger listening to his own heartbeat. So now he has the stethoscope in his ears, and he gets to listen to his heartbeat say thump, thump, thump. Dr. Anna even let Daniel listen to his own heart with the stethoscope. Daniel thought that was so cool. Dr. Anna used her otoscope to check Tiggy's ears. Tickle, tickle, Dr. Anna said. Then Dr. Anna checked Daniel's ears. Tickle, tickle. The otoscope does tickle, Daniel giggled. So there she's checking Tiggy the stuffed animal's ears with her otoscope, which is something that she can put in your ear, and she can see with her eyes what the inside of your ear looks like to see if it's healthy or if maybe it could possibly need some help from the doctor. Then Dr. Anna checked, oh, we already read that one. Okay, and then there she is checking Daniel Tiger's ears. Sounds like Daniel Tiger thinks it tickles when the doctor uses the otoscope to check his ears. Dr. Anna checked Daniel's eyes, blink, blink, and then she checked Daniel's throat. Ah. And Dr. Anna checked Tiggy's height and weight. Tiggy was a healthy weight and 3 stripes tall. So here she is checking the eyes. And now they are measuring Tiggy the stuffed animal to see how tall he is. And they said he was 3 stripes. So can you count how many stripes until the top of the stuffed animal's heads? It looks like 1, 2, 3. 3 stripes tall. Then she checked Daniel's height and weight. Daniel was a healthy weight and 8 stripes tall. Wow, that's pretty tall. That's the perfect number of stripes for a tiger your age, Dr. Anna said. So there she is. She is measuring Daniel to see how tall he is. And this machine can also weigh you too. Daniel and Tiggy, you are both done with your checkup, said Dr. Anna, and you both get a heart sticker for being such good patients. Terrific! Thanks, Dr. Anna, said Daniel. So there he is, and he's got his drawings with him that he made before he went to the doctor. And there are all the stickers that Dr. Anna has to give her patients once they're done, and it sounds like they got a heart sticker. Back in the waiting room, Daniel saw his friend, O the owl. Hello, Daniel, I'm here for my checkup, said O the owl, looking nervous. You are, said Daniel. I just had my checkup. What was it like? Asked Owl. You can read this book I made with my mom, said Daniel, handing O the book. It will tell you about what happens. A book? Said O the owl happily. I love books. Thanks, Daniel. So there he is. He's got the book that he made with all the things he thought he remembered from the doctor's office and that happened at the doctor. And now he's giving it to his friend O the owl so that he won't be so nervous. Daniel and Mom Tiger walked out of Dr. Anna's office. Trolley was waiting for them. Hi, Trolley, said Daniel. Guess what? I'm nice and healthy, and so is Tiggy. Ding, ding, said Trolley, and then took Daniel and Mom Tiger all the way home. There they are, and look, they've got their heart stickers from when they went to the doctor. Thanks for coming with me and Tiggy to the doctor's office. Did you find all the things I drew in my book in Dr. Anna's office? Knowing what was going to happen helped me feel good about going to the doctor, and it might help you feel good, too. Ugga mugga. There he is. He's back at home. All right, so that was a great book about playing doctor and what happens when you visit the doctor. And the doctor used a stethoscope quite a few times. She used it to check Daniel Tiger's heartbeat and to even check his stuffed animal's heartbeat. So today we are going to make a stethoscope, and it's going to end up looking just like this. So we're going to make one so that you can play dress up and be a doctor like Dr. Anna, or you can also be a veterinarian, which is an animal doctor, or even a nurse, because all of these people use the stethoscope to check your heart. And so that is what we are going to make today. So I'm really excited. So the first thing Put that one aside. The first thing that we're going to need is a headband. So I bought a pack like this, but if you have one hanging around, you can use any headband that you have. I'm going to choose the blue one this time. And then we're going to need some ribbon. But if you don't have ribbon, I'll show you a way that we can make it with paper when we get to that step. And we are going to need a paper plate, markers, or you can use crayons, scissors, and we're going to need something to glue it together. And since this is ribbon and not paper, it takes sometimes a special type of glue. So we're either going to use a hot glue gun, which if that's what you have and what you're going to use, we want to make sure we get permission from our parent or our guardian before we use it, or have them help us with that step. Another thing that we could use is either fabric glue, mine looks like that, or tacky glue. So those are a little bit stickier types of glue that will help us with our ribbon. And if you don't have any of those things, that's okay, because you can also use a stapler. And let's just make sure with our parents that they're okay with us using the stapler before we do that as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So first, the first step is that we're going to get our headband. And for this activity, instead of using it on our head, we're going to flip it upside down, and it's going to be the part that goes around our neck for when we play our dress-up doctor or nurse or veterinarian. So the first step is second step, because we already got our headband, is that we're going to get our ribbon, and we're going to cut a piece about as long as we want it down from where our headband's going to be to wherever we want it to end for the circle part of the stethoscope. So I think about 6 inches is about good, but you can, depending on how, on your size, you can decide how long you'd like it. So I'm going to use a ruler to show you where 6 inches is. So I'm going to take it and find the one. Okay, so from the top, actually let's make this 8 inches. Okay, so if you can see, there's the 8. So I'm going to cut right there. So I'm going to hold that part with my finger so I know where it was. And I'm going to cut it. I've got my kid safety scissors today. They should be able to cut through your ribbon, but sometimes it's a little tougher than regular scissors. So you want to hold it really taut, which means tight. You're going to hold it really tight like that between 2 of your fingers. And that'll make it easier to cut. Here we go. We're going to cut it. You're going to hold it really tight. And you might have to do back and forth with your scissors a few times to get it. Whoop. I think that didn't end up being the right length. Let's try to measure that again. Okay, here we go. Here we go. And let's cut this. So hold it tight. All right. That looks like a better length for my size. Okay. Then the next thing that we're going to do is we need to attach this part to our ribbon. So this is the part, remember, that goes around the doctor's neck, or when they're listening, it goes in their ears. And this is usually a tube on the stethoscope that leads to the circle. That's the metal part that they push against your chest so that they can hear your heartbeat, and also they can listen to your lungs like that as well. So I'll show you how to use the glue and the stapler. One thing about the glue is that it usually takes a few hours to dry. So you might have to hold it down with something that's a little bit heavy, like a cup or a mug. So I'll show you how to do that, and then I'll use the stapler since I want to be able to hold it up for you when I'm done. So I'm going to take my fabric glue, open the top, and I'm going to put a little bit on the end. I can show you better. And you shouldn't need too much. And then I'm going to take my headband and I'm going to wrap, there's the side with the glue. I'm going to wrap that part around my headband and glue it together. But since the ribbon is a type of fabric, it's not going to stay together right away. So if this is what you're using, you're going to want to lay it down flat on the table and hold something heavy on it, like a cup, so that it stays in place. And you can still keep working on the bottom part when we get there like that. But since I'm going to be holding it up for you, I want it to be able to stay right away. So I'm going to use my stapler for this part. Remember, you can use a hot glue gun for this and it should stay right away, but that's one that you'll make sure that you can use that or have help with it before you do. Make sure to ask your parent. So I'm going to take my stapler and just in the same spot it's already held. Sorry. And I wrapped this piece around the headband. I'm going to staple that part together. So I'm going to put the ribbon in between the two parts of the stapler right there. And I'm just going to push down. And so then you can see I've got a staple, so it should stay put, which is perfect. All right, so the next part that we're going to get to is making the round part. That's the part the doctor actually uses to listen to your ears and to your lungs. So I am going to get a paper plate and okay, I'm going to get my paper plate and I'm going to draw a circle. We're going to use 2 circles that we're going to cut out. I'm not great at making perfect circles. You might be really good at making circles, but I'm not the best at making the perfect circle. So I'm going to go ahead and use something to help me, and I'm going to trace it with my cup. So I'm going to put this up here so that you can hopefully see better. I'm going to take either a pencil or one of the markers that you have ready for the activity already, and we're going to put down your cup, or just go ahead and draw your circle however big you want to make it, but remember to make 2. So hopefully I can turn this down so you can see better. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my pencil and just follow around the circle. Whoop, it's hard with that handle. Circle of the cup. Okay, so I've got 1. You can see it. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a second one, because we're going to make 2 sides to the bottom piece of our stethoscope. Okay, so around and the other side. So now I've got my 2 circles drawn on my paper plate. If you don't have paper plate, oh, I forgot to show you the piece that you could do. Sorry, we'll put a pause in that part. Let me show you how you can make the, instead of ribbon, if you don't have a ribbon at home, let me show you how you can make it without ribbon, with paper. So you can just use paper, or you could use cardboard from like a box of cereal or crackers. Once it's done, once you're finished with it, you can just cut basically like a ribbon shape, a straight line out of your paper. And if you want to make it kind of a perfect line, you could take a ruler And I'm just going to match it up with the bottom edge, like that. And then take your pencil and you're going to draw on the top side of your ruler. So I'm going to do this down here. Hopefully you can still see. Okay. And then you're going to go ahead and cut out. It's opposite on the computers. It's hard to tell. Okay, you're going to cut out that part. So you take your scissors and go ahead and snip, snip all the way down the line. There we go. So now we basically have our ribbon shape that can go on our headbands instead. So if you were using the cardboard or the paper, you can, same thing, you could use glue or you can use the stapler. So you would just wrap it around and either glue these two sides together, the side and the side, or you can staple it together. So that is another step you could use if you don't have the ribbon. Okay, so back to our circles for the bottom piece. Okay, so when I'm cutting out my circles, I think it's a little bit easier if I don't have quite as much of the paper plate to cut into. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of cut around and make a big rectangle shape. So I'm going to cut around and take away all this circle edge. So here we go. See if you can see. And so I'm going to just cut. Alright, and now I'm going to cut the side part. And side. I'm going to put those aside. Okay, so now I've got a smaller piece of the paper plate to cut my circles from, and that just makes it easier for me, but you don't have to do that step. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to line it up with the edge of my circle, and I like to use the hand that's not cutting to help guide the circle, so I kind of turn it as I'm cutting. So I'm going to make little cuts with my scissors. And then when I'm ready to like turn to the circle, I use this hand to help it turn so that I can stay more or less on the lines. And I like to, when I'm trying to cut out something just so on the lines, I like to make little tiny cuts with my scissors instead of bigger cuts. So I'm turning my paper plate while I'm making little cuts. Alright, so there's one circle. Now we're going to make the back side circle for the stethoscope. Alright, so here we go. We're going to cut right into so that we're on the edge of the line that we made. And I'm going to cut and turn it in little circles as I go. Try to be able to cut and show you guys at the same time. I'm turning my circle. Okay, and now I've got my second circle cut out. All right. Oh, and if you didn't have paper plates, you could also use the cardboard that we talked about earlier, like from a cereal box or a box of crackers or something like that. So I've got my two circles now, and these are the ones that are going to go at the bottom of our ribbon, or if you made it from paper or cardboard, that's fine too. They're going to go at the bottom, and we're going to put one on each side of our ribbon so that that bottom part ribbon is hidden. So I'm going to start with the back side. So I'm going to take my circle and we're going to try to attach it to the back of the ribbon. So you can do this part, again, is not going to stick well with regular glue. So you're probably going to want to use tacky glue or the fabric glue, or just to make it quicker, I'm going to go ahead and use a stapler. So I'm going to staple, and the staple will be hidden once we glue the other part in. So, and I'm going to use as little as possible of the ribbon down there so that most of it can be hanging from my neck. Okay, so here we go. Take the stapler. And ta-da, it's attached. And so now, to be able to hide that staple, I'm going to glue this piece onto the front. And we're going to try to line them up so that they're sort of right together, so that one side of the circle isn't sticking out. So this part should actually be able to use regular glue if that's what you have. So let's go ahead and use our glue. I'm going to use my glitter glue just because I think it's fun. And this is basically like almost clear glitter that's hard to show up on white, so it won't show through. So let me get something so you can see better. I'm going to use this book, so hopefully you can see a little better. Okay. So I'm going to make a circle around the edge with my glue. And I'm going to make an X in the middle just to make sure it sticks really well. So I'm going to smush it on, try to line it up just so the circles are perfectly together, and then smush them together. Smush. And there we go. So now our next step is that we are going to decorate. We're going to decorate the front, and you can decorate it however you want. I like to put a heart on mine since that's what a lot of times that they are using the stethoscope for. But you could decorate it however you want. I am going to choose I'm going to make my heart first. Another thing that you could do is if you like Doc McStuffins, he's got a stethoscope that has a little band-aid on it. So if you wanted to put a band-aid on or draw a band-aid, you could do that before you do your heart. So, and this might be one of those things that once you're done, you might want to stick it down with something heavy for that part that's over top of the ribbon. Push it down. Okay, so I'm going to first make my heart. So you can make any shape that you want. And I'm going to use purple, but again, choose any color you'd like. So I'm going to make a big heart. And I'm going to go ahead and color it in. Try to stay in the lines. So I'm so excited for this to be done so that we can play with it like Daniel Tiger did with when he was playing doctor before he went to go visit Dr. Anna. I'm curious to know if you guys are going to play doctor or nurse or veterinarian. All right, so I've got my circle filled in. And now I'm going to go ahead and color this part gray because the reason that I'm choosing gray is that that part of the stethoscope on the doctor and nurse's stethoscope is usually made of like a metal, so it's kind of like a grayish color. So that's why I'm going to choose that. So I'm going to go ahead and color it in. And then another step that you could take is if you'd like to decorate your ribbon, you could use markers you could decorate it. You could write your name with doctor in it. You could use glitter glue, anything you'd like. So I'm going to go ahead and write my name. So what you're going to do, if you want it to say doctor, you're going to write a capital D and then a lowercase r and a period. So that stands for doctor. So you can see capital D, lowercase r, and then you can write your name. So my name's Lindy, so that's what I'm going to put. And you could decorate it with any kind of drawings that you'd like on there if you want, or you could leave it empty. So there you go. So now when I'm playing doctor, everyone knows that I'm Dr. Lindy. And once it's completed, you can wear it around your neck, and you could pretend to be a doctor or nurse and use it on your baby dolls, or you could use it on your family members if they want to play doctor with you. They can be your patients. Or you could use your stuffed animals and you could be a vet doctor, kind of like Daniel Tiger was doing with his Tiggy stuffed animal. This is actually my dog stuffed animal, but so you could put it on, and then you could even make sure yours isn't too sharp in the ears. Mine's not sharp, so I can pretend I have it in my ears and see, and I can listen to his heartbeat. I had so much fun making this activity with you today. So I hope you tune in next week for the next Create with Lindy. And at 1 o'clock today, we have sensory time with Mackenzie. So make sure you stick around to see that one. All right, see you later. Bye.